All right. Some of y'all know that I was in prison this year. Do you know why I was in prison? Because I tried to turn in my predators. Scott DeCosta, on not one occasion, but over half a dozen occasions, separate occasions, committed multiple felonies to hide his crimes and the crimes of his officers. I had gone to Sheriff DeCosta and his officers at least 5 times about Robert Warnick before I was assaulted by him. But nobody was in my corner. Nobody was in my corner. Now let's take a look at the people who claimed that they were in my corner. Let's take a look at, well, let's start off with here in Chapel, Nebraska. Who should we start off with here? Laura Nelson. She was involved in almost every part of this. She knew shit was fucked up. She knew things were wrong. She knew they were going on. She said she'd speak up, but she never fucking did. Now, meanwhile, this is one of them fucking dumb cunts who I have to make decisions based on the information that I'm given. She tells me that she's afraid to come forward because of her son. She is afraid that people in Chapel, Nebraska will retaliate against her son if she tells the truth. So why is it that I don't feel bad for Laura Nelson? Well, I'm going to explain it to you like this. I asked Laura Nelson to tell the truth. Just to come forward and tell the truth. Of course, she found religion. And those who find Jesus apparently are incapable of honesty, incapable of doing what's right. Once you find religion, you're no longer a human being, you're a fucking monster. That's what your religion is. It's an excuse for your monstrosity. And you are your monstrosity. Oh, it's okay if you destroy innocent people's lives because you're going to repent before you die. Right before you die. Do you really think it fucking works that way? That's like the guy who's always talking about, man, if somebody pulled a gun out on me, I'd do this and I'd do. No, the fuck you wouldn't. You'd shit your pants. Those people who say, man, if somebody pulled a gun out on me, they better be a better shot than me. Like, fucking A, dude. Seriously, you think someone is going to stop in the middle of trying to murder you to wait on you to pull out your gun? And most of these people, if they have access to a gun, would have to travel hours to gain that access. While you pretend that all autistic people are schizophrenic nut jobs, you guys are acting like a bunch of goddamn schizophrenic nut jobs. You make fun of people for having imaginary goddamn friends, and you got an imaginary fucking friend. Where's your God? Where was your God when I was being raped? Where was your God while I was being beaten? And it wasn't atheists who raped me. This shit doesn't just happen to women. It happens to men even worse. We have taught every girl in America to be the most selfish person on the planet. We have taught them to be in love with themselves, in love with their looks, and to blame men for everything they do wrong. I get told that it's my fault that women wear makeup. I'm not painting it on your face. I'm not expecting it to be on your face. And when I see it on your face, I have to hold back making fun of you for painting yourself up like a goddamn clown. You say you shouldn't care what other people think. And then you paint on a fake face every single day. Why? You say you do it for you, it's not for anyone else, it's just for you. Really, if it was just for you, you'd do it in your own fucking house. And then hang out in your house all done up in your makeup and your hair and your fucking nice pretty dress with your sequins. But you're not. When you're at home, you don't want that shit on your fucking face. Makeup doesn't feel good. It feels like a whole face full of fucking animal fat. You don't get all doozied up to watch Netflix with your dog. You say one thing and do another. You know, when people were threatening my life, it was fine. But when I threaten the lives of those who threaten me back, then I'm a horrible person. And then my predators want to claim that I threatened them. Which predators in specific? Because now we have to make a, well, kind of like a separation of church and state. Some of my predators were not physically violent with me. Natalie Bollinger was my predator. She never got physically violent with me. Danica Lachelle Garner is one of my predators. She never got physically violent with me. All they had to do was slander my name. Meanwhile, all of these people are drug addicts. All of them. Natalie's mother, both of Natalie's ex-stepmothers, Natalie's dad, Natalie's sister Alicia, Maddie Boa. These people are all fucking junkies. But their words are worth more than mine, aren't they? Because I'm not a human being to you. Nasty. Now, I started making this video because I was listening to Christian radio this morning. Imagine that. And this woman is on there. She's talking about sex. But only sex after marriage. You can't have sex before marriage. It's a sin, of course. Most of the Christians I know are going to hell just because of that. How many Christians do I know that waited until they were married to get laid? None. I'm going to guess at none. Because most of them that I know were pregnant before they ever got married. Now, on this radio this morning, this woman is saying that a woman owes it to her husband to have sex with him. This is a God-given need. It's funny, Maslow's hierarchy of needs also includes sex. Matter of fact, it's on the bottom rung of the ladder. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the very bottom is your most important needs, and he puts sex in that category. I don't need sex. What about those guys who are not married? Did God not give them the urges too? What about women who have the urge to have sex? Does a man owe it to a woman to have sex with her whenever she wants? We've got Christian radio teaching women this. Are you fucking insane? Now, of course, then there's bullshit like this. This is something that I need help going through. I need someone to actually sit with me, which has not happened. I need someone to sit with me and look at the evidence and actually go through it with me and not go ADOS, sorry, attention deficit, oh, squirrel, or attention deficit, oh, shiny. Of course, when the people that I have to go to for help are all a bunch of fucking drug addicts, how much help are they really going to be? Christianity teaches sexism. The most sexist people I know are all Christians, all of them. The people I know who are most Christ-like, well, according to the Christ in the Bible anyway, because really we don't know. How many of you people were alive 2,000 years ago when Jesus was still on this earth breathing? None of you? Well, you guys claim to have a personal relationship with this dude who's been dead for 2,000 years. Every single Christian on the planet is a schizophrenic. Every one of them. Anyone who believes in God is schizophrenic. If having an imaginary friend makes you schizophrenic, you are schizophrenic. If you hear voices from God, yeah, that's a sign of fucking schizophrenia, dumbass. Meanwhile, people who consider themselves average and normal are fucking idiots. They're idiots. Listening to this Christian radio bullshit this morning. Seriously? It's fucking stupid. I'm going to tell you something. I've had sex twice. Twice. My entire life. I was a virgin till I was 33 years old. And guess what? Maslow's hierarchy of needs was wrong on that part. You don't need sex to survive. You need food, water, and shelter. That's for survival. That doesn't give you a life. That's just to survive. Then people want to put things on me that are not mine. Want to pretend like I'm a child molester and a rapist. Guess what? Natalie never said those things. Natalie never once called me a child molester or a rapist. She called me a stalker, which is just as bad. People want to keep on saying, well, you just couldn't take no for an answer. No to what? I drove 1,700 fucking miles to get away from her and her sister and her fucking family. But that wasn't fucking good enough for them, was it? They had to lie and slander and destroy my life. And I went to everyone I could to try to get help. And they were all too busy. What were they too busy with? Drugs and sex. Stephanie Mejia, after I went through all of that bullshit and spent all of that money to get her help And she showed up, and all she wanted was dick. I could have had sex for a third time in my life because she really didn't care where she got the dick from. She just wanted dick. She didn't come to Colorado with my money to help me. She used my money that was supposed to be for her to come help me to come have sex with Ventus, to do drugs with Ventus, to get drunk with Ventus. She wanted to do hallucinogenic mushrooms. She wanted to smoke pot. She wanted to get drunk. And I was as patient as I could be, given that situation. Ventus don't want to be my friend no more because I was honest. Stephanie Mejia don't want to be my friend no more because I was honest. Well, maybe you should have tried being honest, bitch. These things were done to me because I defended myself against predators. But I wasn't allowed. You're not allowed to defend yourself when you're called mentally ill. Meanwhile, mentally ill is not a diagnosis. This fucking country sucks. People want to tell me how great this fucking country is. For your spoiled bitch ass, it might be. I got motherfuckers telling me, it's really not that hard. I heard my first car when I'm 16. Well, great for you. Guess what I was doing at 16? I was buying food for my little brother and sister, you stupid son of a bitch. What's more important, a vehicle for joyriding or making sure Tara Lee Hicks and Michael Allen Albert have food in their fucking stomach? Of course, Michael Allen Albert is the worst person in my family. What kind of a sick son of a bitch fucks his own daughter? People tell me, well, you got to go to your family for help. Really? Really? You think if I go to a bunch of child molesters and drug dealers and say, hey, I need help, I'm being victimized by child molesters and drug dealers, you really think they're going to do anything? No. Fuck Christian radio. Now, on one of those things that I posted, matter of fact, the video that I recorded of the police coming into my room and, well, breaking the law, we got a bunch of asshole Christians on there who wanted to troll the fuck out of people and persecute people and then bitch, whine, moan, and complain. Oh, you guys are anti-Christian. Why the fuck wouldn't I be? You can have your fucking religion. Just keep it the fuck away from me. Now, another thing is, we all know if you're in custody, those aren't your bills. Those are not your bills to pay. I was arrested on trumped up charges December 16th of last year. You know what I was trying to do? I was trying to turn in Scott decoste. And I was fucking arrested for it. But it's fine, isn't it? If nobody gives a shit, it's fucking fine, isn't it? No, it's not. Alicia Bollinger does the drugs. I'm the one who gets treated like a druggie. Ted Bollinger gets his daughters strung out on fucking drugs and fucks his own daughters. But I'm the one punished for it. I'm the one treated like I'm the one that got them strung out on drugs. I'm the one treated like I'm the one who fucking molested them and raped them. It is my right to face my accusers. And that right has been denied. Do I have to kill these people? Is that what it will take? Do I have to shoot Scott decoste in the head to stop this? Do I have to shoot State Trooper Lassen in the head to stop this? Do I have to shoot William Barr in the fucking head to stop this? Do I have to shoot Leslie Snell in the head to stop this? Do I have to shoot Alicia Bollinger in the head to stop this? Do I have to shoot Rose M. Kelly in the head to stop this? Do I have to shoot Officer Michael Beard in the head to stop this? One thing's for sure. If they're dead, they won't do this to anyone else. But there's another thing that's for sure as well. If I were to kill these predators, you sick son of a bitches would make them out to be martyrs. You praise those who victimize me because of a narrative that is fucking false, that I was never allowed to defend myself against. Meanwhile, all of these so-called Natalie Bollinger groups and these Natalie Bollinger web sleuth group pages like Rob Gavigan's, these people didn't give a fuck about the truth. They took the same goddamn slander and regurgitated it over and over and over again. And every time these son of a bitches do this, I get another influx of people harassing me, people threatening to kill me. So take your bullshit and shove it up your ass. Take your religion and shove it up your ass. Take your gender and shove it up your ass. Take your sexual orientation and shove it up your ass. Take your skin color and shove it up your ass. If you cannot see other humans as human beings, you should do the world a favor and leave it. If disabled people are not humans to you, you're a piece of shit. If women are not humans to you, you're a piece of shit. If men are not humans to you, you're a piece of shit. But there is not a single cop in America who is a human being, and I can tell you that now. There is not a single cop in America who is an honest person. Every single cop, as part of their training, are taught to lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, and assault you. But they call it a different name and magically it's okay. Like you change the word torture to pain compliance. And now magically it is okay for you to break a man's arm. You can try to break a man's arm if you're a cop, and then actually break his arm when he moves because he's in pain. Do you have any idea how many times I was assaulted by the guards in prison? And I wasn't even convicted. I wasn't even charged with a felony. I was charged with misdemeanors for trying to turn in William Barr instead of shooting him in the head. I was sent to prison on trumped up charges because I tried to turn in Leslie Snell instead of shooting her in the head. I was sent to prison on trumped up charges because I tried to turn in Scott DeCosta instead of shoot him in the head. And here's the coup d'etat. Here's the grandiose for your bullshit. Registered sex offender Robert Warnick I went to the police about him on no less than 5 separate occasions before I was assaulted. In specific, Sean Holloway and Scott DeCosta and Tara Smith from the Department of Health and Human Services. It's not like I haven't been trying to tell people. It's not like I haven't been speaking. But I am not heard in court. I am not heard by the media. I am victimized every single day over slander that I have already proven is untrue. But I'm not allowed to show it in court. I'm not allowed any of the rights that you guys keep telling me I should do this, and this. If I had the rights that you have, I could. But I don't have those rights. How about instead of telling me how fucking sorry you are, you get off your ass and fucking do something? How about instead of saying there's nothing you can do, how about you fucking try? I had to spend my money that was going to go to pay someone to help me. I had to spend that money to bail myself out of multiple jails for crimes I didn't even commit. Meanwhile, I spoke out about Rawlins, Wyoming. I'm not the only one. There's even a guy who got a hold of me on this here site to let me know about the Rawlins PD. Now this right here, this is some people who keep harassing me. I don't owe them money. This right here is for an ambulance bill. You know what that's from? It's from the day that I tried to turn in Scott DeCosta, December 16th of last year, when he and State Trooper Lassen decided that it was okay to assault me. I need help. I need help going through evidence. I need help getting heard. When you type the words, "you need help," you're being an asshole 100% of the time. I know I need fucking help, but I know what help I need. You don't. You're the fucking retard. Do you like that word? Do you like being called a fucking retard? That's what people with Down syndrome got to deal with. That's what autistic people got to deal with. That's what people with cerebral palsy got to deal with. It don't feel good, does it? You fucking retard. Maybe you should look at both sides. Maybe you should look at actual evidence instead of slander. Now, this bill here, they want to charge me $1,150 for taking me to the hospital. Polly Olson, go fuck yourself. Polly Olson's name is on my paperwork here, too. Polly Olson, are you a piece of shit? Or did the sheriff, Scott DeCosta, abuse your name? I want to know. Are you a piece of shit? Or are you willing to testify? Laura Nelson, are you a piece of shit? Or are you willing to testify? Brenda Dickinson, are you a piece of shit? Or are you willing to testify? Cammie Jepson, are you a piece of shit? Or are you willing to testify? Brent Jepson, are you a piece of shit or are you willing to testify? Out of all those people I just listed, Brent Jepson is the only one who's in law enforcement. Polly Olson, did you pretend like I threatened you? Or did Scott DeCosta use your name to try to manipulate a judge? See, the point here is that I have chosen every step of the way to try to get an honest court date, to try to get my side heard. To see to it that my predators never have the opportunity to do this to anyone else ever again. Just because I'm not willing to kill them doesn't mean that I'm letting them go. I didn't let those two officers go that assaulted me in the Boulder County Jail, although I was assaulted by more than two. Those two officers that killed Demetrius Shankling. I didn't let them go. You did, by pretending I was schizophrenic when I told on them. And then they killed a man. You fucking moron. I spoke out about how when I tried to turn them people in, those officers, I was sent to Clearview Behavioral Health, where I was treated like a fucking animal by people who are not mental health care professionals. And I told on them. And people wanted to stay busy with the pretending I'm schizophrenic thing. And guess what? They fucking killed someone too! There are over 24 bodies because I wasn't heard. If they had done something about those officers when they assaulted me, instead of hiding the evidence, destroying the evidence, assaulting me, and charging me with trumped up bullshit. Holy fuck. But you know, according to Jesus, Everyone deserves to die. And from what I've seen of this world, I agree. Everyone deserves to die. Now, we could look at that in two different ways. I'm 41 years old. All of my favorite people are dead. All of them. The people that I care about that aren't dead, I can't go to see them. And I'm supposed to be fine emotionally without that. You guys get pissed off over trivial shit that I wouldn't even think about getting pissed off over because it's trivial shit. And you guys are allowed to go off for months at a time and physically harm each other over that shit. But when I have a real issue, well, then I'm supposed to be fine and dandy with it. When you're throwing a fucking tantrum for 3 goddamn weeks over somebody not putting the cap on the fucking milk, and you're going to tell me I just need to let it go? You're out of your fucking mind. By the way, I was already in custody when they put me in the ambulance. Polly Olson was in that ambulance, bullshitting me, same as always. I asked her to tell the truth. Her excuse for not telling the truth is that she doesn't work with the courts anymore. Fuck you, Polly. Fuck you. You are a witness. You can be subpoenaed for what you've done. You were aware that a disabled American was being abused. And I got to tell you, Polly, I am disgusted by the fact that you protected my predators knowing what they did to me. So, Polly, you want to pretend like I threatened you? Or do you want to testify? You were one of those people talking to me about your higher power. You've proven to me that you don't believe in any higher power. You certainly don't believe in a God. You, for certain, 100% absolutely do not believe in Jesus. You've shown this by your excuses, by 4 years worth of excuses. God bless America, right? So yeah, on the one hand, we all deserve to die because living after all of our loved ones are dead just fucking hurts. But also, we all deserve to die because, well, we're not perfect. See, that's the Christian bullshit that keeps getting shoved down our throats. We all deserve to die because we're not perfect. Violence is rarely the answer, but when it is the answer, it is the only answer. In my situation, a great many people thought that I should have been violent a long time ago. A lot of people thought that I should have picked up a gun and shot Scott decoste a long time ago. A lot of people. My little sister's in a pretty fucked up predicament. A predicament that I have repeatedly attempted to help her with and repeatedly been denied the ability to help her because all of my resources are stolen every time that I am brought up on trumped up bullshit charges. And don't get me wrong, there are laws that I broke. But under the circumstances, it is not illegal. I should not have had to do those things. Now, what has my family done about the abuse? Let's go through the list. My little sister Tara. Nothing. She hasn't done anything about the abuse. She said she was gonna, but she didn't. Instead of her helping me out, I've been helping her out. My mom will probably find out eventually, so I might as well hear it from you people. That's right, Mom. Well, you've got a child molester staying in your house on First Street, a child molester who is one of my predators. Your daughter is living in a dinky camper trailer behind somebody else's house. And being there and seeing the situation that she's in, it is not a safe situation. Tara needs housing, but she's not getting it. Michael didn't care. Of course, why would he? Why would a child molester help me to take down child molesters? My older brother didn't give a shit. All he gave a shit about was his meth. My mom didn't give a shit. All she cared about was having normal kids and bitching about my little sister's dress. My dad didn't care either. He fucking lied out his ass at me repeatedly. And his lies resulted in a lot of harm coming to me. It resulted in a lot of roadblocks that I couldn't get past. It resulted in a fucked up situation with my bank account that made it so I can't even get a bank account. Yeah, that's a lot of help, Dad. You fucking piece of shit. Maybe you should have tried fucking listening. People are fucking dead because you people are fucking cowards. You were too afraid or too embarrassed to come forward. You don't deserve to live. That doesn't mean I'm willing to kill you. But you don't deserve to live. If all of the pieces of shit fucking cowards on this planet all died at once, we'd live in a much better world. If all of the bullies all died at once, we'd live in a much better world. If my friends helped me out 1/100th, sorry, 1/1000th as much as my predators worked together to destroy my life, things would have turned out different. If Miss Peaches would have spoken up to begin with, instead of me having to record it and post it on my YouTube channel, things would have turned out different. If Laura Nelson would have come forward with what she knew the day Natalie fucking disappeared, or any time since then, things would have turned out different. But Laura Nelson is not a good person anymore. She's a Christian now. If she doesn't want that word coming out of my mouth about her in that way, if she doesn't want me to use the word Christian as a derogatory term for her, maybe she ought to open up her fucking book. Read that fucking Bible. Sure, I don't believe in the imaginary friend in there. But there's a lot of useful knowledge, especially when it comes to how human beings operate, how they interact with one another. The Ten Commandments are how not to piss everyone off. That's what the Ten Commandments are. It's common sense rules to not pissing people off. Here's how not to offend people. You know, there's some of them that are no brainers. You probably shouldn't fuck your neighbor's wife. That's a no brainer. Now, I got people who have sex, they crave sex, they enjoy sex, and it's fine for them. But then they want to pretend that me and Natalie and our friendship was based on sex. We never had sex. Natalie made a few hints, but I sidestepped the hell out of that shit.